I like this movie, guys. Biggest thing I like about this movie, I think this the acting carried the movie on its back, especially in my opinion with the following characters, two especially, Jonathan Majors and Zazie Beetz' character. Um, if you don't know those characters, assuming you've watched the movie, Jonathan Majors plays Nate Love. Zazie Beetz plays Mary Fields, I believe her name is, in the film. Um, First off, when it just comes to this film in general, I like that these characters didn't just feel like they were there just because, oh look, it's a black western. It's all, like I said, the acting carries this movie. I really feel like Zazie Beetz and Jonathan Majors were by far, they had like really interesting roles. Like I wondered, why is she in this predicament? Oh, what happened when she's associated with Jonathan Majors' character? Oh, why? What happened to make them go down different paths and then meet again? Um, and I wondered a lot about Jonathan Majors or Major, watching this movie because he sold me as to why he's popping right now. I understand why he's popping right now. He's the new, for me, the new school black actor in Hollywood circles. I don't watch Loki. I know he's meant to be playing Kang in the MCU. I did not watch Loki, and I don't plan on watching the future Ant-Man film that I believe he's gonna be in. But I get it now, watching this movie, why he's considered a good actor. I like the emotion. He has a scene at the end of this film with Idris Elba. Like a lot. I just put it that way. I can't give away what I'm thinking right now. Um, which actually leads me to another thing. Speaking of this movie, they had some good um, twists and turns. I'll just put it that way. I didn't see. I mentioned something at the end of this movie. I didn't see it coming. At least I saw it halfway through. I wasn't completely oblivious. When a certain character starts talking, you get to a certain point, you're like, oh shoot, oh they're going there. Oh shoot, oh no, oh sugar cake. Wow. Okay, I see what you're doing, and it made the movie. I was on my toes a little bit, and I like that. People compare westerns to what superhero movies are now, and I get finally watching this film why that assumption is made. Connecting back to my point about that twist and turns, the something in this movie is like one of the characters in the movie. He's a bit too big for his britches, if that makes sense. He's gassed up. He thinks he's the ish, and there's a moment that's actually part of a funny joke involving a countdown at the typical trope of who's the quickest. He's the quick draw that you hear about in westerns, and it ends in a way where I was like, oh you know what? When it happens, I'm like, I like how not only was that like a shock moment, like it took me aback, it made me think about this person that I've seen from interviews, Jeymes Samuels. Not only is he a fan of westerns, he's thought about them enough to where he's thought about, you know what, I don't really like this trope, so I'm gonna do away with it, and he does away with that for sure. He makes fun of that, but not in a disrespectful way, in my opinion. Just in a fun way that added to the story, personally for me, and I like that. Good twists and turns, like I said. Another thing I like about this movie, I said it was an actor's movie, but you know what? I will put respect on some of the production design. Now, for me, maybe I don't know. I think Blade Runner ruined my idea of like what's good production design, because something's only truly good if it's like, for example, maybe Denis Villeneuve made it, or Tarantino, his team is behind it, Chris Nolan's team. There's certain upper echelon people that I respect for production design only, truly. This film, um, there's a scene, you've probably seen it from the trailer, where Regina King, Lakeith, Stanfield, those two characters, they play, I believe, Cherokee Bill and Trudy Smith, I believe her name, or Treacherous Trudy is what she goes by. Regina King. Shout out to So Fine. Shout out to Watchmen. Um, actually, don't like that show. But like I was saying, there's a train scene where Lakeith's character Cherokee Bill is talking to someone. The editing, the way that shit was looking, made me feel good. That scene, another scene. There's a couple scenes where they're just going through towns. You can tell like the camera work, the editing, and the production design. They really wanted to flex. They put their thought into that, and I appreciate that. I appreciate it's not just movies aren't just actors, writers, and directors for me. I do notice some little things. From I may not notice many other things because I'm not like a film aficionado, hence the name of the channel. But I appreciate them certain things when I see it nonetheless, and I noticed the colors in certain scenes that I wouldn't have noticed if it was any other production team, right? Production design team. So I appreciate that. Um, this film, lastly, I just want to say I would love to see a sequel, but here's what I need, and this leads me to a flaw. I need them to put more thought into both the antagonists and the protagonists. That's a flaw of this film. Like I said, I'd love to see a sequel. One of the reasons why I don't love this movie is not like the highest praise for me, but I like it. The antagonists, I don't want to say who, but certain people in this movie, they don't get the shine in terms of character study that I wish they did. Maybe that's by design, because obviously Western superhero movies, other good versus bad type tales, they're trying to on purpose make it like a black and white thing. But I never felt that way watching this film, and they make it clear at certain points that the sides aren't black and white necessarily. You know, there's a point in this movie where someone has to, I don't want to say, someone has to do something in an all white town, and you get reminded, oh shoot, I almost forgot. They're in America, in most likely in the late 1800s, fresh out of slavery days, like the show I watch, Warrior, in that takes place in like late 1800s, San Francisco. They are, oh, that's fresh racism. Um, but actually, you know what? That's another thing I like about this movie. Um, but I'm back and forth with it because I don't need, as much as I love Quentin Tarantino, I don't always need to be reminded about the era I'm watching a film in. I get it, people were not PC like they are now, but I watch movies for escapism, and I do want to forget that to some degree that I'm watching a movie that takes place in a certain period. So I don't always want to hear people use certain terms, certain slurs. So that's another thing I like about this movie. But I will maintain my flaw and my issue that I have in this movie, that I feel like the antagonist didn't get a lot of respect, especially since when I watched that teaser trailer for the film, another great twist and turn is that the people who I assumed were the villains in this film were not at all. Yeah, that took me aback, and in a good way. But it meant that the people who I thought were gonna get more shine, I noticed it a lot. Both because the people I have in my mind are really good actors. There's a lot of really great actors who are in this movie for me. Um, so it's noticeable in that sense when they don't get enough to me, like long drawn out scenes where they can really squeeze the the various shades of their character, and it's noticeable also just in the general story, like is centered around, in my opinion, this is Jonathan Major's movie, with Zazie Beetz movie, and an associates of those two characters, in my opinion. You know, to me, in a lot of ways, to a fault, and that's what stops me from loving this movie. I like it, I don't love it, but I'm still happy it's around. It makes me excited. I would love to see more stuff like this. I'd love to see more other things to do with just black people. So I love seeing good stories with black people. I do. Um, Tell me your thoughts down below on this movie. If you've seen it, did you like it? If you haven't seen it, would you see it? Like I said, tell me your thoughts down below. Like this video, share, subscribe. Buttons right down below. Don't be shy. Other than that, guys, signing off. Salute.